Tonight, from Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, it's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Mac Jones and the New England Patriots taking on Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Chicago Bears and the New England Patriots. And hi again, everybody. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, when you and I were going through our final run-throughs at breakfast, we kept thinking tonight we're going to get to see a couple of very good passing offenses.
And we're talking about both sides having multiple receivers that can have an impact on this game. It's not just one guy that's going to make all the plays. If you take him away, maybe number 2, number 3, they make the big plays that impact who wins the game.
Here's Cairo Santos now, ready to get this one started. And we are underway in Foxborough. This will be fielded inside the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. A time for Mac Jones and his Patriot offense to take the field. Jones now in his second season since being selected 15th overall in 2021.
I think we'll all remember 2021 as a banner quarterback draft, and we saw 5 taken in the first round. It was actually the 5th of those 5. Mac Jones, who was the runner-up in the Rookie of the Year voting, with the 5th most yards by a rookie in league history. The Patriots, they have to be dancing in the streets with the idea that this guy is going to be their quarterback for about the next 10 years.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll run with a former member of the Crimson Tide, Damian Harris. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up 2nd down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now a toss play. It's Harris. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Throwing Jones. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
And that's exactly what defenses talk about. You've got to find ways to get off the field when you can, especially on 3rd down. And 3rd down defense going to be vital in this game. Able to knock that one away and force a 4th down.
Jake Bailey on now to punt here on 4th down. So holding on the return, and that's going to back them up to start the drive.
He was trying to get the job done correctly, just trying to clear a little space for his returner. Ended up getting a little too much jersey and hooked the guy, hence the flag.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Fields now to throw. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. On play action, Fields. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Fields to throw on 3rd and 1. This pass on target, Velus Jones with it. 20! Touchdown, Chicago! Velus Jones, 81 yards. And the Bears will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. They said that they wanted to get him involved early, and what a way to cap their opening drive, Charles. We know he's one of the fastest receivers in the NFL, and he showcased it on that play.
And when you have a guy like that, you want to make sure the defense sees him early, right? You want to see how they're going to adjust, how they're going to try and guard him, because they can't replicate his speed in practice unless they've got one of the few guys who are as fast as he is. And all it took was one drive. He burned them, and I don't think it's the last time they call his number in this one.
Santos with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Fields it right around the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So back onto the field come the Pats for their second drive. And I would say they went 3 and out last time, but actually they didn't even get to 3 and out. Still a strange decision to us here in the booth.
Yeah, let's hope they don't go 1 and out, but maybe, possibly, let's try and think with them here. Try and play field position maybe, turn the ball over, put it in the hands of their defense. Who knows?
You're a nice man. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Jones. Hunter Henry brings it in. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Jones. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
So 2nd and 4 from the 22. They'll try the right side with Harris. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Back to throw. Jones. And this is going to be incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
So on fourth down, Jones jogs off, and on comes a longtime vet, Nick Folk, for the Pats field goal try. Folk's kick is good, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Now, after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. From the 6. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. The football changing hands here, and as this offense takes the field, Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive, because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage, while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
A play fake, now Fields to throw. They'll roll him out right. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
That was an interesting look there, because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Here's Fields. Man open, that's Byron Pringle complete. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
First carry now for David Montgomery. He'll get this up to about the 44.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. From the 44, Fields got an open man. It's Pringle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. To throw is Fields. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Chicago trusted Darnell Mooney to step up and be their top wide receiver, and he gave them a 1,000-yard season in return. They're certainly hoping that their third-year wideout can form a lasting connection with second-year quarterback Justin Fields. Looks like that connection is starting to pay off, this time for a first down.
Montgomery back to the ground. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Back to throw. Fields. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. Here's Fields. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
That's the third time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage as shown by that last play.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Herbert. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
So they need 2 yards here on 3rd down. Remember, they're already 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive. Now it's Fields. He's got it. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the 3rd down conversion. Two minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score. And they've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra mass. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Well, they went with a fullback dive that time.
And, Brandon, when I was a kid, the fullback carried the ball equally as much as the running back, then known as the halfback. Nowadays, the fullback's job is to block, Put him out in front. Let him clear a path.
They still have a couple more chances here from the... And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. A touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Bears are in for 6. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
Santos now to add the PAT. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told. And it was David Montgomery's touchdown run that polished it all off. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. New England trying to get a place on offense. But Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Here's Jones throwing on first down. And this one is incomplete.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old school defense right now. The new school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Jones. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger gain.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Looking to throw. Jones. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free. And it brings up 4th down.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big 3rd down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
Here's Jake Bailey now. A 45-yard punt, 4 there on the return, and the Bears take over. The Chicago offense set to get started. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity. Fields on first down. Quick hitter here. It's complete.
It'll be a gain of 5, and that will bring up second down. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Throwing again on second down. Fields looks for the out route, and it's complete to Komet. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Fields. Fields hit and the ball is loose. And this is going to get out of bounds, so they will gain a bit of yardage on the play, actually, and they'll hold on to the football as well.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. If the ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
The fumble on first down. Now here's second down. Fields. And Fields going to have the first down before sliding to a halt to avoid the contact. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first.
Certainly not the way they drew it up in the playbook, but that's why they love this guy back there. He sees things breaking down, and he's more than capable of finding an escape route and still getting a decent gain.
Two first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Fields. The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes. Now the Bears will use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now Montgomery running right. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. And let's listen in on the call. So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll just keep two hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. It'll be a gain of 3 on what should be the final play of this first half. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everyone, to our brand new studios here in downtown Orlando in the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one has been a hard-hitting affair to this point, and you got to expect we'll see more of the same in the second half. And to bring the action your way, let's get it right back out to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. Taken at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Bears offense set to go to begin the third quarter. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Third quarter starting with a run from Montgomery, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Fields. Throwing left side, it's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. It's a gain of 34.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Fields. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Multiple players getting home for the 1-yard sack.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. After the sack, here's 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, a run with Herbert. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
An extra corner comes on now for the Patriots D on 3rd down. Operating from the gun. Fields. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Fields, we know he has the good mobility. He flashes it there as he scrambles for the 1st down.
He really looked comfortable there, scanning the situation, analyzing things, feeling the pressure, and then stepping up right through the middle and sprinting for a 1st down.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And the Bears are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
They'll run with Montgomery. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal.
That's good hard running right there on 1st and goal. That gets them down to the 2 and puts a lot more pressure on that defense.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Kari Blossingame taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Bears take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Santos able to tack on the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here comes the Patriots offensive unit. They'll have it first here to begin the third quarter. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Jones and the Pats now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Harris starts the drive on the ground. And he powers his way up past the 30. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Again, it's Harris on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
New England has found its lead running back, and it's Damian Harris. The Alabama man tied for 2nd in the league with 15 rushing touchdowns and was a game short of 1,000 yards.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Now a 1st down carry for Harris. He fights forward for a couple with a penalty flag down. And the linemen, they're already walking back. So that run play nullified by the holding call on the tight end.
Yeah, I just think he needs to get off the ball a lot quicker and get into the block a little bit more effectively. Then he doesn't have to reach and grab and try and hold on.
Back to throw. Jones. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker, complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a 1st down.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Jones. He'll find Parker again. Complete. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. Three quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. 3 yards remain for second down. Looking to throw. Jones. Throw left side complete. That's Montgomery. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. 7 yards there and a first down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Off the play fake. Jones. And that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
To throw again on second down. Jones, his throw incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw again. Open receiver here, complete. It's Parker. And he will have a Patriots first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
They'll get only 3 there, so it leaves them with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
New England on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 7. Operating from the gun, Jones. And it's caught. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Going with their tight end on 4th. And he's over the line and into the end zone for a Patriots score. Jonnu Smith punching it in from a yard away. And the Patriots are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Well, they needed 3 scores to have any chance. There's the first of the 3 as they get into the end zone.
Yeah, Brandon, I think that our guys at Next Gen Stats in charge of the win probability are probably saying your chances still aren't great. But now you still got more than 3 minutes to go. You got to focus on the task at hand, which is going to be getting the football back as quickly as possible.
Nick Folk for the point after. It's up and good, and the lead is down now at 11. It's 21-10. So that drive, 12 plays in length, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he's got it to about the 40. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Back to Montgomery on second down. Now third down is looming. A pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. On third down they go Montgomery. And he'll take this one down to the 36. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. No, Fields is off, and on comes Cairo Santos for the Chicago field goal. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. Santos' kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further. So they hadn't called on him at all until this point, but he comes through here and buries one from long range.
Yeah, that's awfully impressive because usually kickers like to get that first one out of their system in the first quarter, sort of get them into the flow of the game, but to come in this late and knock it down from long distance, give him a lot of credit.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. So now Jones and the Patriots down by 2 touchdowns. A little under 1:50 remaining. Their offense has struggled all night, and now they need to find 2 scores late to try to pull this thing out. Jones. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Well, they've certainly had trouble unlocking this defense through 3.5 quarters, so I don't expect it to get any easier now. You know they're going to be sitting back and waiting on everything, and they force an incompletion there.
Second and 10 now from the 27. Here's Jones. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 18 big yards on that one, and a New England first down.
Oh, that was a pretty route right there because it's all about finding a window on a route like that. He lined up on his left, ran the deep in route over the middle, and the ball was right where it needed to be. Really good trust between quarterback and receiver. Really good completion.
Jones throw there complete to Myers. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
He gets it into the arms of Parker, complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 25 yards that time. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Jones. And he wisely will throw that one away.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Jones. Open man right side, Myers. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
To throw is Jones. And this is caught. So it's a late touchdown, but maybe too late. Still a little time left on the clock, however. Coming from where they were, they knew this was going to be tough, but they got the touchdown. Now they need the miracle, the onside kick and a little extra.
Yeah, and you have to get the onside kick and not have the ball bounce around a lot and eat up time. You want to be able to grab it, possess it, and get your offense out there for what you just termed a miracle last chance.
On for the extra point is Folk. He's got it, and it's 24-17. So this drive spans 7 plays. And Devontae Parker able to finish it off with a touchdown reception. So with 14 seconds on the clock, they've got to go with the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. The risk reward of the onside kick, when you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling. And whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
The Patriots will take their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. a win for the Bears just around the corner. They go down to a knee. Well, you really can't ask for much more than what we just had here. Not only a close game that went down to the wire, Charles, but a clean one, too. No turnovers in this contest.
And I think you're exactly right about that. To me, this is just a pair of offenses trying to find the slightest bit of separation from each other. And they were both hoping that the other side would make the big mistake first. But today, neither side made that mistake. And what we got, a very entertaining game throughout.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. From Foxborough, good night, everybody.